Seemingly running out of letters for its naming convention, the Korean giant decided to take on prepositions as another line of budgeted smartphones hit the Philippine shores. Mabuhay Manila, this is Drew from Manila Shaker, and join me in reviewing the Samsung Galaxy On5 2016 edition. This mid-ranger is made up of metal backing with plastic caps on the top and bottom portions. Its rounded corners make it a lot easier to navigate with one-handed use. Looking in the back, you will find a flushed rear camera and LED flash beside it. Nothing else can be seen up top, while at the bottom contains the micro USB port, the main microphone, and the 3.5mm headphone jack. The button placements on both sides are the same with the J7 Prime, as well as the side-firing speaker at the right side above the power button. The volume rocker can be found at the opposite end. The chin will be housing Samsung's iconic home button that functions as a fingerprint scanner to boot, flanked by two capacitive navigation keys. Veering away from its plastic body from the previous versions, Samsung made the On5 2016 a budget-friendly, premium-feeling device. The build is good and the bezels on the screen are thin. This is basically a smaller J7 Prime in your hands. The 5-inch TFT LCD HD display of the Galaxy On5 2016 is good for casual use. Natural colors are maintained considering the choice of going for an LCD display instead of the traditional AMOLED on other Galaxy devices. In totality, it provides a good viewing experience, though using under broad daylight will be a task as an ambient light sensor will not be present, making fumbling with the screen brightness slider a poke in the dark, figuratively. The 13-megapixel rear camera of the device handles images well in daylit conditions and captures shots decently fast. Captured photos define smooth details with a touch of underexposure. However, using HDR mode will balance out the overall quality of the image. Should you wish to shoot indoors with decent lighting, it will be no problem from the phone with overexposed bright areas in certain conditions. Low light scenarios produce noise on the image, but with the addition of an LED flash, it performed decently with smooth touch on the image. Shooting at night will only capture lights and a few objects. The rear camera can take up to 1080p at 30 frames per second videos with good sharpness overall while doing so in broad daylight. The 8-megapixel front shooter did fairly well in environment with decent lighting, as seen in the image here. The face is detailed with a touch of overexposure in some of the bright spots. The previous On5 and On5 Pro comparing, the 2016 version revamped its internals by using a Snapdragon 617 system on a chip octa-core CPU paired with 3GB of RAM and achieving 44,000 points in an Antutu benchmark. The extra 1GB RAM and 4 cores provide new and improved budgeted devices can breeze through different applications meant for daily casual use. For a mid-ranged tier phone, playing Nova 3 was handled fairly well with smooth frame rates, but the device gets a little bit warm. Testing the On5 2016 on something more intensive, like the Rio Racing 3, was a task for the meager specifications and proved that it was almost unplayable. The 2600 mAh juice pack of the On5 2016 does not come with any quick charge or fast adaptive charging support. It will take about 2 hours 40 minutes to fill its tank. During our battery test, we were able to squeeze out an average of 3.5 hours of screen on time with almost 21 hours of standby time. For power users, you might have to utilize a power bank to last throughout the day. The mono side-firing speaker on the right side is good enough to fill a really small room with clear audio output, especially when the volume is maxed out. The Samsung Galaxy On5 is expected to retail around 12,000 pesos or $240 US. The 2016 version of the On5 is a clear step away from being a budget phone to a mid-range contender. If you're looking for a Samsung phone that has decent camera quality and good performance without breaking the bank, then this is probably a good buy, but if you might have to bring a power bank with you, to last throughout the day. What do you think of the Samsung Galaxy On5 2016? Let us know in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter at @tweet. For the latest in tech, keep it locked in on manilashakers.com. Once again, this has been Drew. Mabuhay, Manila.